Here we go. Ready? Oh, who's better than me? Yeah. All right. What's up? Now that I have the fretwork on, it's time to start the next layer of molding. Now this layer of molding is a Cove, okay? And it's thicker than the fretwork because it needs to step out from the fretwork to have that stepped effect, okay? And I already put a couple of pieces on. I'm just going to show you how to miter around these corners, all right? And it's really important to make sure that you have enough stock because look, sometimes it just doesn't work out for you and you really need to just make sure you have enough of this material. But anyway, you guys know me, I make tons of mistakes. Alright, let's see if I can zoom in here a little bit for you. Alrighty. You see that next layer of molding? Right here? Nice, huh? Alright. Well, this is the astragal, and this sits on the top of the case, okay? Let me just see what the heck I'm looking at here. So I have a secondary block in here. Can you see it? You see that block? Now it's smaller than this block, obviously. Now, when you fit these miters on this piece and this outside piece, they need to split right here, okay? Because you're going to be looking up at this, and you want this miter to hit with that miter right there, where those two blocks meet. And then it's just a matter of really fitting this stuff, man, and it's a real pain in the neck. You know? I'm sure that those guys who used to do it back in the day, I mean, they were so awesome at using these, their hand tools and their saws or whatever, it probably took them a lot less effort and a lot less time than it did me so far, because I'm using a compound miter box, and you know what? I'm just not that good at it, I guess, because I've got about 25 of these little suckers. It's stressing me out today big time, but whatever. But this is what it's going to look like. Pretty cool, huh? Now you can see that the reveal, like underneath it, and then it comes up and around and goes down the same, and it's all the same. You know, I mean, that's what we're shooting for. And then the next section of molding that goes on top of this whole thing is the fretwork. And that fretwork is going to be a challenge in itself, and we'll talk about that when we get there. So I just wanted to show you guys the second layer, well, the third layer of molding, I guess, that goes on this sucker. So that's it. Pretty cool, huh? I mean, it really doesn't look like much now. It's just another layer. I mean, you might get a better profile of it like this. So that's what that looks like. Alright, fellas. Totally stressing out today. I made a big mistake on this, and I had to rip it all out with a router. I just didn't have the heart to show you guys again, but it was tough. But anyways, I'm on the other side of it, and I'm just going to keep going, alright? So, I will get back to you when I start that dental molding. What's up? Alright, guys, well, I'm going to see if I can explain this to you. Here's the dental molding. Pretty sweet, huh? Now, this is a piece of scrap, and this here is a piece of scrap, okay? What I did was I made a sandwich, so the piece that I need is on the inside of a sandwich, and I just braided it together, and then I nipped the brad heads off so it wouldn't damage any of the machinery. Now, the next step, which was a real pain in the neck, was that I had to figure out, you know, it was pretty close. It's like 3/8 tooth and 3/16 gap in between them. But little, like, not exactly. You know what I mean? This interior one is like maybe 3/32 bigger than the rest of them, which isn't bad. So, what I did, alright guys, check it out. Let me zoom in here so hopefully this will make a little sense to you. Alright. You can see I have a fence on here that's nailed Well, it's just clamped to the fence. And I have a little piece of stock right here, okay? This piece of stock is the exact thickness of the opening of the teeth, okay? Now what I did basically was that I mark and gauged on the piece of stock 3/16 of an inch, and I held it back, and then I made this first cut right here. You know what I mean? This is a piece of scrap, remember? So I made this first cut, and then I lapped it up against this thing, okay? And then I ran it, and then I ran another tooth, okay? And basically, I just ran this whole thing, and I kept coming over. See how nice and slick that is? But I did one side, okay, because I didn't want the runout to be against the other side of the pilaster on the case. So I flipped over the board endo, and I did the same thing. Here, 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 all the way down. And I ran it, blah, 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 bam, 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 the whole way, okay? Now you can see that this tooth got screwed up on me, okay? So, these ones are all perfectly 3/16, and this one is just a little bit heavy. It's like, not that much, but it's like half that right here, okay? So what I need to do, I'm just going to trim this off a little bit with my chisel on top of the, once I glued it on, you know what I'm saying? So, this is how you make the dental molding. You just kind of have to gingerly go along and keep cutting it every single time. Bam, bam, bam. But it indexes really well, and you just have to keep it down. Now, this just isn't a blade, okay? What I did, I want it to be 3/16 of an inch, and since this is an 1/8, you see that right there? That other cut ahead? I just grabbed one of the wing cutters from my dado set. So this is an outside dado, and that's just a single cut ahead, which comes out to be about 3/16 of an inch. And it worked out really, really well. I'm going to pick the camera up now, so hopefully you guys won't get sick. I'm going to show you what this thing looks like. So, go from the table saw. Now you can see I have a piece on the bench, okay? I forgot it was zoomed in, huh? Okay, now here's the dental molding, okay? How cool is that? And you can see that it's even all the way across from this corner to that corner over there. Now, the next thing I needed to do, which is a real pain in the neck, and I don't even know if I should have done it this way, but I don't know, I like to torture myself a little bit, so I decided that I thought it would be cool if I mitered the inside corner and the outside corner, because I just don't like the way end grain looks on these outside corners, and you know what? This really needs to be dead on. So, you can probably see, you know, this is mitered, that's mitered, there's a miter inside here, so naturally I just want the dental molding to have a miter deep inside there. Alright, and you really can't see it because I have it clamped. Believe me, I've been having a really stressful day. Alright, so I figured I'd just give you a breakdown on how to create one of these inside miters. This is a ramp block, okay? This right here, this is cut at 45-degree angle. This is just a tooth piece that I cut to stick in there just in case, you know, the glue comes off of here or whatever. And all I want to do, alright, it's just like a ramp block on anything else I do. I want to come down, okay, and I want to remove this material. But you just don't want to remove all that material at once, obviously. So, you just kind of come in, and this is really risky, okay? I mean, I'm sweating it out, because, I don't know, I'm a nut. I probably shouldn't even have bothered doing it this way, but I decided to. And it's always nice to double check the thickness, you know? That looks pretty good. So, this is it, man. I just take out this material, little by little. I know, it's crazy. T-Mac's insane. I know. I'm starting to agree with everybody that I'm not right in the head. And I don't really care about what it looks like right here. The only part I care about is up underneath, because everything else is going to get covered with multiple layers of molding still. And And I'm a lefty, and I'm doing this right-handed. I'm nuts. I shouldn't even do it, because I don't know, whatever. So, you just keep coming along down the ramp block, and you take this material out, okay? I'm telling you, I'm really nervous. But whatever, it ain't that big a deal. So, this is it. So now I just see how much is left there. I still just got to trim that off a little. Nice. All right. Once I have that done, I have to take another piece and I have to miter it and stick it in the corner. All right, and that's a real pain in the neck. I'm going to show you what it's going to look like because I got it done over here. Okay. So I have that miter, okay, and then all I need to do is fit it, like I did this one. Can you see this piece here? I still have the little piece in there because I don't want it to break, and I have some pressure against it this way. So this piece is now in place, and the miter looks pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect, but this stuff's getting really difficult and challenging. So now that I have that done, okay, I need to fit this piece here. And you can see that it has it's a little banged up right in there. That's because I had this the wrong way on the miter box. But, you know, you can probably see it from the top if I can get it a little higher. This is what's challenging about having to do this stuff, and it makes me crazy. Alright. You see how this is a full tooth right here? It's like a full tooth, then a gap where this thing is, and then a full tooth gap all the way across. So you don't want this, you want this thing essentially to not skip a beat across the whole way when it jumps across and around. So this looks really close. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's pretty damn near. So I'm just going to trim this off a little bit and trim that off a little bit. So these two are in plane with each other. They're probably going to be like a 30-second, maybe. Yeah, I'd say a 30-second smaller than these ones here, but you're never really going to notice it. So I got to start in this corner, put this one on, and keep going around the corner. And I would leave the camera on and show you guys how to do it, but it hasn't been a good day, and I've been whipping stuff across my shop because these little suckers really get to me. But this is what separates, my work from others. I just didn't want to leave, ingrain on these little corners, even though it's like maybe 3/32 of an inch, 3/16 maybe. I'll see it, and ultimately I'm only trying to make myself pleased, which is almost impossible to do. But so that's a little bit of a breakdown on how to make this crown molding, and crown molding. I'm not even getting all the words right. I'm so flustered. The dental molding. I probably could have made a tooth out of this thing, huh, guys? That would have been cool. I should have done a whole dental thing. Maybe I'll make some teeth later on, because that would be kind of fun. Break up the monotony. Alright, well, once I get around one of these corners, I'll turn the camera back on and show you how it looks, okay?